Hi guys, or assalamu alaikum guys. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the full scoop, the full tea on how to plan a successful Somali wedding. Let's get straight into this video. Okay, so if there's one thing that we know Somalis are going to do is they're going to arrive late. They're going to come late to a wedding, and not only that, they're going to bring extra people that you do not know to your wedding. My first advice is to be strict with your guest list and also be strict with time, okay? And I'll explain why and what I did so that you can also do it. So the first thing, I put my wedding down for 5 because I knew people were going to come late. And like I said, people did come late and they came around 7. And I knew that my wedding was going to start at 7. Like I was going or was planning to enter at 7. Okay, so always put an hour or 2 in your invite. Make sure to tell your hoyo, your abo, like everybody around you that, you know, like, oh, the wedding is starting at 5. It's starting at 5. You know, you like put that pressure on people so that way, even if they do arrive late, they'll still be on time. You know what I mean? Because nothing's worse than having all of your guests arrive 2 hours later. Imagine, and you're the bride and you're just waiting for guests at your own wedding. Allah. No way. Hell no. But the only problem with this, if you're inviting people who are not black, make sure to give them the right time, okay? I put in 5 and I send it to, like, some of my brother's friends were coming they're Colombian, and then my father and his family. My father is not Somali, so guys, they all arrived at 5 and I felt so bad because they were there 2 hours before other people. Looking back, I should have told them the right time, but I didn't know. And my dad is always on time. Like if you tell him to come at 6, he'll be there at 5:50, you know? So they were all on time, but everybody else mostly came close to 7 or like right after 7. The next thing I did was also the tables. I told my mother and my sister-in-law, I said, you guys better write the name down, every single people's names of everybody coming down on a paper. 1, 2, there's a strict amount of people that you guys are bringing. Mind you, the first original, like, people, it was supposed to be 80 people and it went to 120 people. So even then they didn't listen. And guys, I was so strict with them. I'm pretty sure my sister-in-law was shocked. She was like, hey, does she not know how things work here? I did know, but that was my wedding, guys. I had to do what I had to do to make sure that it was going to happen good, or like as good as I would want it to be, right? Make sure to tell them a specific number, to write down the names, to give them to you. And then after they do that, give people tables, okay? So like let's say you have 8 tables. Okay, they're getting 4 and your family's getting 4. Hoyo, here are the 4 tables. There's 10 seats. Make sure to write the names because I'm going to be writing down the names. You can even do like the personal, you know, that is going to make sure that everybody has their seats for 1. 2, if people that you don't know come, well, that's too damn bad because then they're going to be standing at your wedding. Like, who told you to come, you know? So that honestly really helps in that sense. And because I was strict, out of the 120 people that were supposed to come, there was 2 uninvited people that came. You know what I mean? Like it really restricts the numbers. And again, in almost every Somali wedding, people are always packed. Sometimes there's no seat. Sometimes the food is not enough for that many people because they told a specific number to the vendors or whatever. And now people are out of food. And sometimes you'll even see like the bride's family leaving the wedding to go grab food for other people. That is so stressful. You do not want that. Especially like in summer, and like a small room, like having extra people, having people who are upset, who didn't eat, who are not calm, who are standing, that is so overstimulating. So that is honestly going to help you so much if you do decide to do that. Next thing, please organize everything for the preparal of the wedding, and also for the day of the actual wedding, okay? And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I planned my wedding in, I think, 6 or 7 weeks. Like, it was quick, guys. I planned my wedding in 6 weeks. Like, I'm pretty sure some people thought I was pregnant. Obviously, I wasn't, but I'm pretty sure some people did. It was so fast, and honestly, looking back, I don't know why I put that much pressure on myself. Obviously, I wanted to get married by a certain day. Like, I wanted to get married in June and not like July, August. And is Aragi, I think, happened in April, like late April. So, you know, we had like May and maybe 2.5 weeks before the actual wedding, to, you know. So yeah, I wanted to be like moved in by summer. I was finishing school in May, so I kind of like pressured myself. We honestly also wanted to get married quickly. So yeah, do not do what I did, guys. You need way more time than that. You don't have to be like Adam people where, you know, you're booking your venue a year before and you're inviting people a year before. You know, like we're Muslim. We don't really believe in that. You shouldn't tell people your plans like way earlier. But I would say like a good timeline, if I were to do it again, would be 3 to 4 months. At least have 3 at the minimum, or 4 months of you just planning your wedding. That is gonna make it so much smoother. I had a good wedding, but it was still done in 6 weeks, so that was super stressful. I gained so much weight in those 6 weeks because I was stress eating. I didn't even like. Anyways, I want you to think about the weather. What is the weather? The weather? The weather. Yeah, what is the weather you're getting married in? I want you to think about your hairstyle. I want you to think about your makeup. I want you to think about your shoes, okay? I want you to think about your dress on the day of. Because if you know, like Somali culture dresses are really like heavy, okay? I didn't know they were heavy, but they're heavy. And so for me, I'll show you my dress, but I got this dress, and guys, the dress was so heavy. Wallahi, it was heavy, guys. You couldn't really hold. If you were to hold it, you would have to like put in all of your force to hold it. That's how heavy it is. So imagine that, having that dress on that's weighing down on me, and it was like this. So my shoulders were like this, my posture wasn't good, it was heavy, I couldn't move correctly. Like, nah, if I were to do it again, I would get a dress that's way less, because I like sparkly things. I'm really extra like that. But if I were to do it again, I wouldn't even get a dress like that. Wallahi, I would get a dress that's more simple, or like that's still beautiful, but the material is soft, that I'm gonna be like comfortable in. Because I was so uncomfortable, guys. For like, I had that dress on for I think 2.5 hours, and during that time, I couldn't have fun. Like, I was just, I was mugging, because like how am I supposed to be comfortable when this dress is literally weighing me down? And even people around me were holding my dress like, no, let me help. Wow, this is heavy, you know. It was that heavy, guys. So imagine me having it all on me with the shalmad, with that, having my bag, and even my dress was a bit longer, so it was kind of like holding my toes. So even I couldn't even walk properly. If I was walking, I had to put my dress up, and then this heavy. Oh my god, guys, it was so overstimulating. Like, guys don't get it. It wasn't until I changed dresses to a lighter dress, so like my white dress, that your girl was. I was so happy about that I started dancing. I started to enjoy my wedding from that moment on. Before that, I don't even think about that part. That's how bad it is. I don't even want to think, because I just know I wasn't happy. I was so uncomfortable. And this is why I'm saying, be aware of your dress that you're buying, what you're wearing, and especially your hairstyle too, your shoes that you're wearing, okay? My hairstyle, because the girl had long hair, I also wanted it, that was the inspo, okay? So I wanted I wanted to look like that, right? So I also had my long hair. My hair is long, okay? And then I had like the hijab thingy. And yeah, it's June. My wedding was on June 22nd. There is no hotter day of the year that I chose to get married. Not only do I have a heavy dress, but I also now have my hair out, and now it's all getting frizzy, and you know, like you could like my hair was kind of like getting together, and like I had to push that back so I still look cute. If you're getting married in the summertime, pull your hair up. Okay, have like the little things that the girls be doing, like, you know, with the cute. Don't be extra like me, like, oh, because I'm a hijabi, so I was like, oh, I want to see how my hair looks straight, you know, like I was kind of in that moment. But yeah, no, I should have just did the whole scoopy thingy. That would have been so much easier, so much better for me, and I would have been way more comfortable with that. And then shoes, your shoes. I want you to have at least 3 to 4 pair of shoes, okay? I want you to have one heel for the first Somali dress. I want you to have a second heel for a second dress, your white dress if you're having that. I want you to have a third pair of heels for in case you don't like both or they're not uncomfortable. Okay, get one that's like tall, get one that's like medium, and get one that's like small. And then add in some flip-flops. Okay, not some flip-flops, that's exaggerating, but add in some little sandals that are cute and like decorated to that. Because you don't know, you could, if you're someone who wants to have fun in your wedding and you want to like have fun with your friends and dance, and it's like, you know, like when it's like midnight and like everything, you know, like those final moments, and you really want to like be able to dance. If you're someone who's like me who hates high heels, your feet are gonna hurt so bad. So have those extra like shoes, have all of those shoes, like that big, that big, that big, and also have some cute little sandals, you know, like have that too. That way when that moment comes, you can take off your heels and just be like, okay, let me put my flip-flop, and then you can really, like, you know, you can really dance, you can really be comfortable, you can really do whatever it is that you want, and you're not going to regret it. You're going to have fun. That is your day. Have fun. Okay, I want you to have fun. The next thing is be prepared. I want you to have extra makeup. Okay, I want you to have your concealer in your bag. I want you to have even a makeup wipe if needed. I want you to have your powders, and especially get at least 3 of your favorite lip combos all in that little, you know, like those little purses thingies. Please do. And the reason why is like when you get your makeup done, obviously you're gonna have like a lip combo that you might not like it. You might be like, oh, it's okay, and then at some point you might want to change it. Usually what the makeup artist does is that she gives you like extra makeup. She'll put it in something like, no, extra lipstick, my bad. She'll put it in that little thingy for you to put on and reapply during the night. But yeah, that is not, if you don't like that, if you end up not liking it, or even if you do like it, if you're changing outfits, you don't want to have the same lipstick both times. No. Luckily, somebody gave me like their lipstick for my second entrance, but it would have been better had I had my favorite lip combos in my bag, and I would have been like, what color do we want, Malika? Do we want red? Do we want red? Do we want nude? Do we want, you know, like it would have been way better had I had my own in my bag, so that I could either change it if I didn't like it to start with, or be able to change it when I'm changing my dress. Okay, like that was that look, now it's a whole different look, let me put whatever lipstick I want on for that. You know what I mean? So make sure to have extra lipstick, your lipstick liner, your lipstick, a gloss, all of that, like all of your favorite products in a little bag. Make sure to have your makeup, like I said, your concealer, your powder, maybe extra lashes, maybe the glue, everything you can think of. Imagine you even get there and you're sweating and you have to like wipe some off, or you want to like you know, like you never know what could happen. Make sure to have all that. That way you're like way more prepared, and you're not worrying about that aspect, right? So yeah, that is for that. I also want you to bring a mirror. Bring a mirror. For me, I didn't have a changing room, so I had to change in a small little closet with no lights. That's like this big, okay? No lights, no closet, and no mirrors. Imagine changing in the dark at your wedding, and you're like, I'm putting on the red dish, and my friends are holding their flashlights, and I'm like, wait, I can't see anything. Like, that is so uncomfortable. And yeah, make sure your venue has a place that you can change at. That's also super important. And if it's not as comfortable, make sure to have a fan, make sure to have mirrors, make sure you have everything for that moment. Because when you're like leaving that room and you're getting ready for the other entrance, usually you're coming in with your husband, and like that's when you're like arriving in with like newlyweds are coming in, you know, like you're happy, you're with your man. So you definitely want to feel better, comfortable and confident walking in for that second entrance, right? And like going into your like that wedding again, and like now there's only a few hours left, so you're like putting all of your energy so you have good time, you know, like that is so important. So for that reason, I really want you to be prepared. I really want you to have all of this things there. For me, even though I knew I looked good, I really didn't feel that I looked good, because I didn't even see how I looked. I just came out the room, and I remember they were like, made them sunny too, and I was like, I kept screaming at people like, can I have 5 more minutes? I can't see anything. But yeah, when I came out, I just wished I had like even 2 minutes before entering to just like feel myself, look myself in the mirror, and I had a cute dress on. So like I wish I had that moment for myself. Okay, you know what I mean? And that way, like I feel like I would have been way more like comfortable and confident, you know. But for me, it was like really I changed and then I just went out. there was no transition. But for me to go from like one dress and now I have like my white dress on and, you know, new jewelry, you know, new lip combo, you know, like you're looking different now. You don't have that other hijab now. You might have a veil. Like you want to take a good look at yourself in the mirror and like love what you see before leaving the room. So make sure you're wherever you're getting married at has a space for that, like has a space like that for you. Even if they don't have a mirror and you have like those long mirrors, tell your one of your brothers to bring it there and to like, you know, bring it back afterwards. Like do whatever you can, because like that moment can change everything. I really wish I could go back and just look at myself. Well, you know, like it was my day. I wish I could have just looked at myself in the mirror, you know? Okay, so my next point, invest in a good DJ. Okay, guys? I need you to invest in a DJ. The music you have on, if you choose to have music on, I'm not pushing that idea, but if you're someone who is going to have music on, I'm going to need you to invest in a good DJ. Do you hear me? Wallah, like a DJ can either make or break your wedding. It could do one or the other. And for me, we had a singer. We paid her, I think, about 1K or maybe a bit more. And then we had the DJ, which he was only getting, but he was getting $400. I remember weeks before my wedding, I had found this amazing DJ. She's based in Toronto, and I think she's also Somali. I forgot her name. But I saw her things, and I was like, oh, I think like she would be perfect for it. And I think her budget was, because she was traveling and everything, her number was either $1,200 or like $1,400. So around what we paid. Right? But I was like, oh no, like we can't, like, you know, like there's gonna be a singer. I didn't want a singer. My mom really wanted a singer. She said, you're getting married, there has to be a fanan, there has to be a singer at your wedding. And I'm like, no, we really don't need a singer. We had that singer, and obviously like it didn't do nothing. Like unless you're getting Sultan, you know, King Jama, or like, you know, like if you're getting those singers, yeah, obviously have them. Like they probably have a higher budget. But you don't really need singers. Like if you have a playlist, YouTube is there. You just need somebody to control it, somebody to DJ it. Now, like looking back at my wedding, I wish I had that girl and she was there free mixing, like, you know, like how they be doing it. I really wish I had that. My singer was supposed to be with me, obviously, like singing besides me and then be with her. Why is she in the booth with the DJ? I'm coming into my wedding and like, where's the singer, Harta? I'm seeing her in the booth with the DJ. You know what the DJ did? That's only one part of it. You know what the DJ did? I gave him a whole list of music. With all of the music I wanted on, like one by one, you know? And you know what he did? He would play, like, let's say he played the first one. He would skip 3 and then play, like, the 5th one. And then he literally did that, guys. I don't think it's that hard to, like, follow an order of how the music is being displayed. Like, do you have issues that we were not aware of? Because like it's really that simple. Yet this guy did the first song, skipped 2 songs, next song, skipped another 3, that song. All of the songs that I wanted to have played at my wedding was not played at all. And I can't think about that because I'm already upset. So many other small things are happening. And I have 2 choices here. Either be upset or put that behind and just have fun with whatever you have. So I chose obviously option B. I didn't want to be like, I was just mad my whole wedding and you know, like that was like a one-time thing, hopefully. And I don't plan on getting married again. So like, yeah, like that was my moment. So I had no choice but to lock it and just be like, okay, like I'm mad, and like put that behind me and try to like have it out of my heart and just enjoy myself as much as I can, despite these small things bothering me, right? And so that's why I'm saying invest in a good DJ, because I don't know what he was doing. And then you also have the singer who was just in her booth. Wasn't she supposed to be next to me? Why is she there? And she's supposed to be helping him make sure that he's doing everything right. But are you the one, or were you the one telling him like skip? Because like, what were you doing there? I'm confused as what was the help that was provided when he failed the task that was given to him. You know what I mean? Like I was genuinely pissed about that, guys. Well, I was so pissed. Yeah, she was not needed. He was not needed. Had I invested in homegirl and gave her that list, I'm pretty sure like the aros would have been on 10/10. Mind you, like I'm saying this, but almost everybody who came to my wedding said amazing things about it. Like it was so well organized. I'm the bride, so I know the vision I had, and obviously it wasn't that, but I'm glad you guys liked it. That was not the case for me. And so yeah, had I had invested in her instead, the wedding would have turned out way better, way more amazing, way more beautiful. So that's why I'm telling you, invest in your DJ. If you're someone who plans on having music, that is gonna either make or break the wedding. That's either gonna make you happy during that time, like, hey, we have a good DJ, and like have fun, or it's gonna make you upset like me, like, hey, what is this DJ doing, right? So invest in a good DJ. Let's talk about bridesmaids. Choose your bridesmaids very carefully, and I'm gonna give you as to why you should do that. For one, do not pick people to fill places. Do not pick people because at that moment they're your friends. You know, even if you and that person may have resentment, maybe your relationship isn't as good, do not pick them if you know that there's a possibility that in 1 year you guys are no longer going to be friends. That is the case for me, and it's like now that person is in my wedding videos. Every single day every single time I want to look at one of like the beautiful days of my life, I have to see her face. You know what I mean? So make sure be sure like to be careful with who you pick to be your bridesmaids in that sense. Also, pick bridesmaid who give off bridesmaid energy. For me, like I picked like, okay, like usually when a girl gets married, it's like, okay, her friend or maybe two of her closest friends, and then some family members, and then also like some in-laws maybe, you know? So don't do that if you do not want to do that, if you do not know those people. For me, for example, all of my bridesmaids were shy. How am I supposed to like enter a place when everybody who's supposed to be making me feel calm and like à l'aise, at ease, is shyer than me? You know what I mean? Like that does not make sense. And so if you're getting married, don't look at the numbers. Don't try to fill places. Don't try to like if I were to go back, I wouldn't have picked them to be my bridesmaid because again, they don't give bridesmaid energy, and that's cool, you know? Not everybody has it, but it's better for you to walk in with people who give off that energy. When I look at my mom's entry video of her entering my wedding, she had one of her friends next to her, and Hubble came in like breaking her neck. She was having fun. She really ate with that. Okay, she ate, and everybody else in the room was you know, like she changed the entire energy of the room. Even me watching it, and I wasn't even there because I was entering after her. I was there like, hey, Haba, okay, you know, like eat it up. Like that is the type of energy you want for your bridesmaid, obviously. My mom, she only had to come in and she was, you know, she got to be cute and like come in and like smile a bit. And she had her friend, she was like doing most of the work for her. That's how you kind of want your wedding to go by, especially if you have bridesmaid. But for me, I did not have that, unfortunately. Like the people I'm walking in are like all shy. You do not want that. That can really break or make your entrance, right? Like if you have people around you who are really energetic, who give off that, and even if you're not that close to them, but you know that, okay, like that person is really outgoing. That person is really, you know, choose them to be your bridesmaid as well. You know what I mean? If you trust them enough to be your bridesmaid, they don't have to be like the first ones. They can be in the back, but make sure like most of the people you're entering with are open people, or like social people, are people who, you know, like have that to them. If you're bringing in, if every single person you're walking with is giving shy, giving timid, giving that energy, now you're already like, as the bride, you're already shy. Okay, everybody's eyes are on you. You're already like shook, okay? When you add that to the fact that your bridesmaids are also like this, you have no choice but to like kind of get out of that cocoon and kind of like force yourself to like, okay guys, I'm not really shy, you know, like I have me in compared to the contrary, where it's like if you walk in and your bridesmaids are all like, you get to like breathe and like kind of, you know, like, okay, you can have a moment to gather your thoughts. You have a moment to gather, you know, like yourself at that time, to be present, and then you're obviously, the energy is going to be passed through you. And then you can then be that bride that's, you know, having fun, you know? So make sure that your bridesmaids are giving bridesmaid, like they have that energy to them, okay? And then yeah, the last point is also in the same sense as to where, like, if your bridesmaids aren't people, like if you really don't know them or whatever, like if your bridesmaid are like sitting the entire evening, okay, they're sitting the entire evening, they're not near you, they're not with you, that is the opposite of what a bridesmaid should do. You know what I mean? Like, as a bridesmaid, you have a responsibility to be there for the bride. Like, that's literally in the name, bridesmaid. You know, like that. So, like, if the people you're choosing to be your bridesmaid, if you don't know them and they're not really like comfortable with you, they might not do anything for you, right? Or if you're picking people that you know, like you're related to them and they're not someone who's really helpful, why are you picking them to be a bridesmaid if you know that that's not their quality? It's better for you to pick the girl or your cousin or, you know, your friend or whatever, even your in-laws, like those that you can see, like, okay, that person is really helpful, I see that person be helpful. It's better to have them and be grateful for having them on that day, that, you know, like, and it's better to have them on that day and then be grateful and be like, oh, alhamdulillah, I'm so glad I chose that person, and be able to even thank them after the wedding, like, oh, I'm glad I chose you as my bridesmaid because you were so helpful. But when you don't do that and you're just like picking at random and you're not really thinking about people's, like, you know, like plus points, like, okay, what is this person's qualities? If being helpful and being like isn't in their qualities, then they might not go out for you. You know what I mean? And then now you have no bridesmaid, basically. You just have people that have like the same dress, but you don't really have bridesmaids now, do you? You don't. You know what I mean? So like for me, like 4 out of 5 of my bridesmaids were sit down the entire time. Like none of them are in my videos. Like in the video, when I watched the video, they weren't there. No one was coming, Malika, what do you need? What's missing? What's this? What's that? That's what I mean. Like, you make sure you're choosing your bridesmaid wisely. One of my bridesmaids, alhamdulillah, was the only one that was like standing next to me, at least for the dancing part, like for the rest of the night. And she was like standing, so I'm like, I'm not alone. You know what I mean? Like in any sense. So like, alhamdulillah for that. Wallahi, I'm honestly so grateful for her compared to the rest, because it's like, now you really didn't do anything. You know, saying this to say who you choose as the bridesmaids count. So make sure you're being very careful about that. You're being very mindful of it. It's better to have 1 or even 2 bridesmaids than to have 5 or 6 or 7 if it's all over the place. You don't know them, you don't know what's, you know, like, it's better to be safe than sorry. And speaking of bridesmaid, I want you as the bride to give specific roles to your bridesmaids, okay? Let's say you have 4 bridesmaids. I want 1 to be on hair and clothes, okay? She is responsible for hair and clothes. 1 is responsible for your whole face, lip combinations, if you're creasing, if you're mahaye. I want 1 to be, oh, and that person can also be the person that's standing next to you. Like, make sure to be like, oh, you're going to also be the one standing next to me. And then make sure the 3rd person is someone who's going to take care of the DJ. Like, she is going to be like the direct link from you and the DJ. So you're not worrying. Let's say the DJ, for some reason, like what happened to me, is like not doing what they're supposed to do. That person is going to go and be like, what are you doing? What is it? Do you not see the, you know? Have 1 person maybe for the video and guests, like the cameraman. Okay, like the bride's gonna enter from there, you know? Like, make sure to give roles to your bridesmaid. It's gonna make your wedding so much easier. And you know what's funny? One of my cousins had called me and told me to do this, but I honestly forgot to do this. And so yeah, honestly, if you're listening to this video, do it for yourself. Really do it. Like, if you're having a wedding, make sure to give roles to your bridesmaid. Make sure everybody knows what they're supposed to do. That way, now you have somebody to hold accountable. Like, if someone's not doing their task and it's like, okay, really, you really didn't do anything, okay, bet, like, at least everything's clear now, you know what I mean? And then when their wedding happens, you can do the same thing. Dona, that's how life works, right? But yeah, no, honestly, make sure to give roles to every single one of your bridesmaids, to make the event go way easier, to make your wedding be beautiful and happen in such a magical way. You don't have to be worrying about things like that. At your wedding, you are the bride. It is your moment. It is your day. all you have to do is think about how am I having fun, of like celebrate yourself, have fun. If you're thinking about all of these details that I mentioned, that's really going to throw you off on that day. So make sure you choose your bridesmaid very carefully. Make sure you're picking the right ones. Make sure you're assigning them roles as well, so that your wedding can go perfectly. I feel like that is also super, super important, okay? And for my last point, I want to say, don't be scared to ask for help, okay? Ask for help. Ask for help, okay? This is something that honestly I also regret. Like, I have so much regrets for my wedding, but I also regret this. And the reason as to why I didn't ask for help, guys, like, I am an eldest daughter, okay? I had to figure out life by myself. I don't have really any older people to like rely on, unless it's my mother, and that's my mother, right? So it's like, I don't ask for people for help. I'll never ask you for help. Wallahi, like, people that know me, like, for real, I would never ask you for a service. I would never ask you for help. I can always do it on my own. That is just, I was just made like that, okay? It's in my blood. And so when I was getting married, what pissed me off the most is that, like, if almost every single days for weeks before my wedding, people would call me like, okay, Malika, how is it going? How's your wedding going? How's the planning going? And I would tell them, like, I am stressed. I am stressed out of my mind. I have to do this. I have this. I have this. You know what's actually funny? None of these people actually said, oh, really? I can take that from you. Let me grab that from you. Let me take that from you. Well, that's what's missing. You need somebody to book that for you. No, I did not get that whatsoever. And alhamdulillah for that. Wallahi, like, I'm not sad about that, because it's like, at least I got to see, you know how they say, like, when you're getting married, you get to see who really cares about you and who doesn't. That is true. Believe them, because I did. So many people were just calling me and like asking me for details about like how I'm planning it, about how it's gonna happen, or like how it even happened, compared to them just helping me. Like, you're taking notes. It's like, am I being interviewed? Why aren't you proposing to help when I'm literally crying, begging? I'm almost begging. And even saying that and being like, I have to do this, and complaining to that degree, for me, already felt like I was begging. I'm a bit prideful in that way. So like, I'm doing all of this, and all you got from that is you're taking away the information that I'm giving you, but you're not proposing any help. Yeah, okay. Ilahi Garcia, your aros. Let me come to your wedding. Let it be your turn. Let it be, because one thing about me, I'm so vengeful, and you're gonna get that back. Wallah, you're gonna get that back. There's no way. But anyways, make sure to ask for help. And the reason I'm saying this is, like, I can sit here and complain and be like, that person didn't do that for me, or that person didn't do that for me. I could do that, but also I have to hold myself accountable. And that's why I'm saying this. Make sure to ask for help, because had I asked for help, maybe some of these things would not have happened. Maybe 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 5 of the bridesmaids would have helped more. Maybe other people would have helped more. Maybe, you know, like, so that's why I'm holding myself also accountable, because I was not ready to, I wasn't in that space to be able to ask for help. Ever since my wedding, I've changed so much, guys. Like, now I don't care. Like, well, I'll easily ask for help, especially since I've given birth. Like, no. I don't gotta be the strongest person in the room. Like, I ask for help now, but at that time I wasn't. But had I done it, maybe things would be different. So again, I have to take accountability for that, because like, I did not ask anybody directly like, oh, can you do this for me? But it was still there. You also could have proposed, but it's cool. Like, we're not talking about that. I'm still gonna take accountability for me not asking for help, because maybe things could have been different, right? So that's what I mean about asking for help. Make sure to ask people around you for help. And I almost forgot this point, guys, but also make sure to give, when you're giving roles to your bridesmaid, make sure to have backup. Make sure, I can't believe I forgot this too, guys. I'm forgetting things. But yeah, make sure to have backup. Make sure to have extra people to fulfill those roles, just in case something happens, because you don't know. You never know. Like, one of your bridesmaids can like betray you. One person that you trusted to coordinate can betray you. I have a story for that. But yeah, make sure you have extra people. Make sure you have other people there to help you. and to take that, even if they're not close to you, even if they're not your besties, even like if they're family members and they're, maybe you're not close to them, they're relatives, and you know that they somewhat care about you. Like, hey cousin, I am getting married, this person's doing this person's doing that, this person doing that. In case something happens, and in case like I tell you like, hey, that person did not come, or that person, let's say, is just sitting and isn't doing anything, like whatever happens, tell them like, I want you to step up for that. I promise you they'll probably be like, oh, of course I got you, like we're cousins, you know. So make sure to ask anybody, preferably like a family member or something, you know, if even if you don't have other friends or whatever the case may be. Going back to the point of like what happened with me, I had, so one of my mom's friends' daughters, you know, like called me before I was getting married, and she was like, hey Malika, you're getting married, congratulations, like what do you need from me, how can I help? I asked her if she wanted to be a bridesmaid, she said no. And I was like, okay, would you be cool with coordinating the wedding? I want to have somebody there to make sure that everything goes well. And she was like, of course, I got you. So the weeks coming into my wedding, I'm telling her everything I want for that wedding. I'm sending her everything. I'm sending her the list, the guest list. I'm even sending her like the DJ, the songs. And you know, like entrance 7 o'clock. Like I'm giving her the full timeline on how I want my wedding to go. And on the day of my wedding, she was supposed to be there at 5. She got there at 7:15, like arrived around the same time that we got there, for one. Two, even if she was late, she wasn't like, "Oh, I'm late, I'm here now though. Well, like, I got you." No. Homegirl decided to sit down the entire evening and just watch from afar the wedding. Mind you, she's older than me, so I don't know if she was jealous, to be honest. Like, I think she was, because there's no way you do that to someone, you know? You can't just do that. And what's even funnier, she even came up to me and started taking pictures with me, like, oh, I came to your wedding. You know, like when the photographer is taking pictures, and I was just there like, you know, like what the hell? Like, yeah, so people could do you wrong on that day. Make sure you have backups. Had I given guys, and you know what's funnier? Like, I had cousins that came that were like, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? But obviously I was already stressed and like annoyed at so many small things that was happening. I was just like, it's cool, just don't do nothing, just have fun, right? But imagine had I told them like, oh, hey, could you be like, in case something happens with the coordinator, can you be an extra person? They would have done it. There would be a difference. So that's what I'm saying. Be careful. Things like this happens. I'm pretty sure a lot of other girls have like so many story times on their weddings, and who didn't show up, who didn't do what they were supposed to do, who betrayed them on that big day, who, you know. So for that reason, I want you to be extra prepared, extra careful. Make sure you're choosing the right people around you. Make sure you're thinking about that day, you're ready for that day, weather-wise, time-wise, music is right, make sure to have everything good. Make sure to have backup people. Everything I said is honestly tea and gold. So I hope that this can help another sister have so much of a better wedding than I did, or have so much more of like a stress-free wedding, an amazing day on her big day, because getting married is a blessing, is your day. There's not going to be another day where people are going to be celebrating you. Like, think about it. Like, your birthday, yeah, like, happy birthday, that's it. Even if you give birth, people are like focused on the baby, but that is your only day. That's to you. It's like the girl, the bride, that is your moment. So really think of that. Really make sure that you have everything set for that, because you should be celebrated. Everybody should be celebrated at least once, you know. I really do hope that all the girls that want to get married do get to get married and do get to have their moment. So for that reason, I do want you to be extra prepared. I want you to have an amazing day that day and be able to celebrate yourself. So with that being said, guys, that is the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any story times like I did, and let me know if these were helpful. If you want a more specific video, like I mentioned earlier, I got you. But anyways, with that being said, salam alaikum and bye.